Amidst the city's bustling streets where the neon lights danced and the sirens wailed, there existed a hidden world that most turned a blind eye to. Detective Alex Reynolds knew this world intimately. He was tasked with solving a complex case involving a string of high-profile thefts, and the only lead he had was an elusive connection to the homeless community. To get close to the heart of the matter, Alex devised a plan that required him to live among the homeless. Disguised as a beggar, he found a place in the shadows of the city's underbelly. Donning ragged clothes and a worn-out cap, he transformed into a character he never thought he'd become. It was during his undercover assignment that he first spotted her. A woman homeless like the rest, yet with an air of resilience that set her apart. Her name was Brittany, and her eyes held a spark that spoke of a past full of dreams and aspirations. Each day, as he observed the life on the streets, Alex found himself drawn to her, his heart swelling with a connection he couldn't explain. One evening, as the sun dipped below the skyline, casting a warm golden hue on the graffiti-covered walls, Alex approached Brittany. "Hey," he said softly, extending a cup of warm soup toward her. Brittany's gaze met his, and her lips curled into a surprised smile. "Thanks, stranger," she replied, her voice carrying a trace of skepticism. As the days turned into weeks, Alex and Brittany's interactions became more frequent. They shared stories, dreams, and even laughter amidst the hardships that surrounded them. The chemistry between them grew, a silent understanding that transcended their current circumstances. One crisp autumn evening, with leaves swirling in the wind, Alex found himself sitting beside Brittany near a flickering fire barrel. The city's skyline glowed like a distant promise, and he felt an ache in his chest that went beyond the assignment he was working on. "You know, sometimes I wonder what it's like to have a place to call home," Brittany mused, her voice tinged with a hint of longing. Alex gazed at her, his heart heavy with the truth he was hiding. "I've thought about that too," he admitted, his eyes locked onto hers. Brittany's brow furrowed, sensing a deeper emotion in his words. "There's something you're not telling me," she said, her tone cautious. Alex hesitated, torn between his growing feelings for Brittany and the truth he had to uncover. "Brittany, he began, but he couldn't bring himself to reveal his true identity. Weeks turned into months and their connection deepened. They leaned on each other for support through the cold nights and the countless challenges they faced. But as Alex drew closer to cracking the case, he knew the moment of truth was inevitable. Finally, the day arrived when Alex had to make a choice. He had gathered enough information to apprehend the criminals, but he couldn't ignore the bond he had formed with Brittany. With a heavy heart, he decided to confide in her, hoping against hope that their love could withstand the truth. Under the stars near the quiet alley where they often found solace, Alex took a deep breath and looked into Brittany's eyes. "There's something I need to tell you," he said, his voice trembling. Brittany's gaze bore into his, a mixture of anticipation and concern. "What is it, Alex?" Taking a moment to steady himself, Alex finally revealed the truth about his identity, about his role as an undercover cop. The words spilled out, heavy with the weight of his deception. Brittany's eyes welled with tears as she listened, her expression a tumultuous mixture of shock, hurt, and betrayal. "So all this time, it was just a lie," she choked out, her voice trembling. "No, Brittany, it wasn't just a lie," Alex pleaded, his heart breaking at the pain he had caused her. "My feelings for you are real. I never meant to hurt you." A storm of emotions raged within Brittany and she turned away, tears streaming down her face. "How can I believe anything you say now?" she whispered, her voice laced with anguish. The night grew heavy with the weight of their shattered connection. Words that once flowed freely between them now stood as barriers, unspoken and unresolved. The hurt ran deep, cutting into both of their hearts. Alex reached out to touch Brittany's shoulder, but she pulled away, her gaze haunted. "I can't do this right now," she muttered, her voice barely audible before she turned and walked away, leaving Alex alone in the alley. The days that followed were a blur of pain and regret for Alex. The precinct buzzed with whispers and mocking laughter from his colleagues, and he drowned his sorrows in bottles of alcohol. The love he had found amidst the shadows seemed lost forever, and his heartache spiraled into a pit of despair. But deep within his anguish, a flicker of determination ignited. He refused to let his actions define him or his love for Brittany. He sought help, piecing together the fragments of his shattered life, and set out to find her to prove that his love was real, despite the lies he had been forced to tell. In his quest, Alex stumbled upon a familiar face among the homeless, a weathered man with kind eyes, the same man who had watched over Brittany during their time together. "Where is she?" Alex demanded, his voice raw with urgency. The man regarded him momentarily before revealing that Brittany had been hit by a car and was in the hospital. Fear gripped Alex's heart as he rushed to the hospital, the echoes of their final moments together replaying in his mind. When he finally stood beside Brittany's hospital bed, his heart clenched at seeing her pale face. Her leg was encased in a cast, and her eyes were closed, lost in an uneasy slumber. "I'm so glad you came," she whispered, her voice fragile yet filled with genuine warmth as she opened her eyes to look at him. Tears welled up in Alex's eyes as he sat down beside her, reaching out to gently brush her hair from her forehead. "I thought I lost you," he choked out, his voice thick with emotion. "I love you, Brittany. I'm so sorry for everything." Brittany managed a soft smile, her hand finding him amidst the hospital sheets. "I believe you," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I love you too." At that moment, as their fingers intertwined, a wave of hope and renewal washed over them. The road ahead wouldn't be easy, but their love had weathered the storm of lies and betrayal. It was real, unbreakable, and worth fighting for. The next day, as sunlight filtered through the hospital window, Alex returned to Brittany's side. He took a deep breath, steeling himself for the vulnerability he was about to embrace. Kneeling beside her bed, he pulled out a small box from his pocket, opening it to reveal a delicate ring. "Brittany, will you marry me?" he asked, his heart pounding with a mixture of hope and fear. Brittany's eyes widened, her breath catching in her throat as she looked at the ring, then back at Alex. Her gaze held a mix of surprise, disbelief, and a glimmer of hope. "Alex," she began, her voice trembling, "after everything that's happened." Alex held his breath, his heart pounding as he waited for Brittany's response. Brittany took a moment, her eyes locked onto the ring, then she met Alex's gaze with an intensity that cut through the uncertainty. "Yes, yes, 1,000 times, yes," she exclaimed, a tear escaping her eye and trickling down her cheek. "Despite it all, I love you, Alex." Overwhelmed with emotion, Alex slid the ring onto Brittany's finger, his fingers trembling with a mix of nerves and joy. A wave of relief and happiness washed over him. The weight of their shared past seemed to lessen, replaced by the promise of a future together. Months passed and their love story continued to unfold. Brittany recovered from her injuries and they moved into a small apartment together, marking a new chapter in their lives. With each passing day, their bond deepened, and the scars of their past struggles only strengthened their love. They adopted a playful, energetic dog that quickly became a cherished member of their little family. The dog's antics brought laughter and joy to their home, erasing the shadows of their earlier trials. Their wedding day arrived, a day bathed in sunlight and surrounded by the love and support of their closest friends. Alex's workmates, who had once teased him mercilessly, now witnessed the profound connection between him and Brittany. They saw the love that had grown despite the odds, and their hearts were touched. As Brittany walked down the aisle in a simple yet elegant white dress, Alex stood at the altar, his eyes fixed on her. She looked radiant, her smile illuminating the space around her. The cityscape provided a breathtaking backdrop, a testament to the beauty that could be found amidst the chaos. The ceremony was filled with heartfelt vows, promises of forever and the echoes of their journey. As they exchanged rings, their hands trembling with emotion, a deep sense of peace settled over them. They had fought through the darkest of times and emerged stronger, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The reception was a joyful celebration filled with laughter, dancing, and heartfelt toasts. Alex's workmates, now humbled by the genuine love they witnessed, shared their well wishes with tears in their eyes. Amidst the celebration, Alex pulled Brittany aside for a quiet moment. Under the moonlit sky, he looked into her eyes, the love and gratitude he felt for her filling his heart. "Brittany," he said softly, "you've shown me the true meaning of love and forgiveness. You've made me believe in second chances, and I promise to cherish every moment we have together." Brittany's eyes glistened as she held his gaze, her heart overflowing with happiness. "Alex, you've proven that love can conquer even the darkest secrets," she replied, her voice filled with unwavering faith. "I am so grateful for you, and I can't wait to build a life filled with love, trust, and happiness." Their lips met in a tender kiss. sealing their promises to one another. The night continued in a whirlwind of joy, marking the beginning of their shared journey into the future. And so, a once unlikely love story that began in the shadows of a hidden world transformed into a heartwarming tale of redemption, forgiveness, and the enduring power of love. In each other's arms, Alex and Brittany found a love that transcended their pasts, proving that even amidst the darkest of circumstances, love could shine its light and guide them toward a brighter future, hand in hand.